I'll first of all introduce myself. My name is Pamela Murray. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the work that I do just to set the scene. So I work as a part-time public health dietitian for NHS Forth Valley, and that's as part of the Nutrition and Dietetic Health Improvement team. And I'll give you a flavour of the types of things that I do within my job, and then I'll move on to tell you about the Porridge Pot project. So in my work, I develop nutrition resources like leaflets, posters, cookery books, recipe sheets. I also coordinate and run national and local nutrition campaigns. I manage and update our department's websites. We've got a community nutrition website and also a Choose to Lose weight management website. I also work quite closely with the communication team within NHS Forth Valley and do regular social media updates on Facebook and Twitter. And I've recently, for a year now, I have started doing some health improvement work within the 3 local prisons, working closely with staff to help with staff health and well-being, and also quite closely with the families, the family centres within the prison, giving them support to run projects with the families of prisoners. So I thought it would be good to give you an overview of how I came about thinking why I should set up the Porridge Pot project. So back in March last year, during the first lockdown, our whole team all started to work from home. So we were all based from home. We had to change our work plans and reprioritise our jobs, shift our work around, and we have found that we've been working more with local charities, churches and communities that have really pulled together to reach out and serve more vulnerable individuals and families within communities. During the work, we also have found that we've supported local food banks more, supplying them with donations of bags that they could put food parcels in, and we would print details of where people could get more financial support or more easy recipes, things like that. We also found that we had to make our resources online more. Instead of paper copies, people were wanting online resources like online recipes, online training, so people could basically download them themselves. So we worked on a number of easy pictorial recipe sheets using just basic store item cupboard items that people would have in their cupboards, or if they got a shielding box during the lockdown, we did a range of recipes using the ingredients from the shielding box. We also did a set of cook-along videos to support the recipes that we developed, and we also found that a large number of food banks were actually preparing and delivering meals out to individuals and families within the community. So we developed a set of food hygiene modules so that the staff and volunteers could actually go through these modules and ensure that they were complying to the important regulations around food hygiene. So October arrived, and at the start of October I started to feel quite unwell. I had pains in my back, feeling really, really tired, lethargic, just definitely not myself. So a few weeks came and went, and then I decided to go for a COVID test at the start of November, and got a positive COVID test on Friday the 13th of November, which I was actually quite relieved about because I had wondered what was wrong with me. So the COVID test, I obviously had to take time off work, and recuperate. And I was off work for 4 weeks, feeling so unwell. I could hardly move, and I would lie on the couch most of the day. And I tended to read a bit more, I would say. So I started reading a book from a charity called Mary's Meals, and the book was called Give. And it was that, I would say, that inspired me to set up a project in Bo'ness. I'd sit and think, how could I actually help and make a difference within this local community using the resources and expertise that I have? How could I make a difference in this local neighbourhood? So I would recommend that book if anybody fancies to read it. I also did a lot of reading on social media, found out about the Bo'ness and Blackness Community Response Group and the brilliant work of the Bo'ness Food Pantry that operates out of the Old Kirk. So I thought, how can I help? So I did think I'll set up a project called the Porridge Pot Project. At work, daily, weekly, I am faced with grim statistics. As much as 22%, that's almost a quarter, or 1 in 4 children in Scotland live in households with a low income, exposing them to the risk of food insecurity and food poverty. There's a growing number of children that are sent to school hungry, and this number is unfortunately growing, particularly after lockdown. And we know through research that if people and children, anybody eating a healthy breakfast, it not only provides our bodies with the nutrients we need to kickstart our day, but it's also associated with improved brain function and can help children concentrate, focus and perform better in class. So with all my social media research and looking at the great work of the Manchester United player Marcus Rashford, and all the scenarios in Mary's Meals, I thought, how can I make a difference? So during the time I was recuperating on the sofa, I decided that instead of sending Christmas cards this year, I would set up the Porridge Pot Project. I'm a great believer in the proverb, charity begins at home. So I thought, I'll start something in Bo'ness. So I decided to set up a Just Giving page where I was hoping to raise £500 to support and encourage local vulnerable families to eat a healthy breakfast and refuel before school. So I contacted the manager of the Bo'ness Food Pantry because I thought they've got all the contacts, they know the members of the community who are most in need, and they have done all the homework basically, so they would be a great contact for me. So I had a meeting with the manager of the food pantry and they agreed to support the project. I thought it was a great idea and that they would help to deliver the porridge pot packs when we had them up and ready to be delivered. So I set the Just Giving page up on the 15th of December and hoping to raise £500. I was absolutely amazed when over 61 individuals and a local football team also donated, and to date we have managed to raise £1,070, which is absolutely brilliant. So I'd like to thank everybody who has given into the Porridge Pot Project donations. So I would share this. I shared the Just Giving page on Facebook and Twitter, so that increased the reach. So I think that helped to raise this great amount of money. So the Porridge Pot pack, it's going to be a breakfast campaign and it's going to target vulnerable families in Bo'ness and Blackness who struggle to find enough money to buy their family's next meal. So in order to make the pack sustainable, I thought it would be good to put in some pots, a baking tray, wooden spoon, some cooking utensils that are in a microwavable bowl, covered bowl, that they could make the porridge in. And there's also going to be books within the pack, depending on the age of the children in the family. There'll be a Magic Porridge Pot book and a Magic Porridge Pot activity book. We will also be putting in some porridge, UHT long life milk, and a tin of fruit and a bag of mixed dried fruit as well. I also have good connections with the oral health team, so we will put in some toothbrushes and toothpaste for the families, and also some information about the benefits of why people should eat breakfast. So that's what's going to go into the Porridge Pot packs. I also thought it would be good to get donations of porridge and the different items that we needed to go into the pack. So I spoke to the manager of Tesco's Bo'ness and he's been brilliant and agreed to advertise the Porridge Pot project down in Bo'ness. So I made some shelf wobblers and posters that had a scanner that people could scan it to find out more about the Porridge Pot project, and they could also donate if they wished to. So if anybody is in Tesco's and you'd like to donate some porridge, then there is a basket at the tills if you put in porridge or UHT milk or tins of fruit or bags of dried fruit, and then the donations get taken up to the Bo'ness food pantry where we're going to be making up the Porridge Pot bags. I also contacted connections that I have within the Parent Club. The Parent Club is a Scottish Government website and they have a really good section on healthy family, easy family meals and recipes. So they kindly sent me some resources to go in the pack and also a stock of wooden spoons that we can use to put in the Porridge Pot packs. I also got a donation of books, so as well as the Porridge Pot book, I can put in different board books for other kids that are in the family. So that will help to encourage reading and help improve hopefully literacy within the family as well. So we thought it would be good to include them within the pack as well. I've also developed some resources with the help from my colleagues at work, so it's been good that my work's supporting the project as well. So my colleagues have been developing some recipes, so we're going to put pictorial recipes in the pack that are easy to follow. So if people have some difficulty reading, we thought we would do pictorial recipes, so they're step by step. So we'll include a microwave porridge recipe, a porridge on the hob recipe, fruity flapjack recipe and an overnight oats recipe. And I also created this resource that will go in showing different fruits that can be added and how to make it a bit more attractive for kids to try porridge as well. So my work have been really good at supporting the project as well, which is really good. So what now in taking this forward? So I have been sharing stuff on Facebook and I had a message from a friend who actually works for Storehouse Bo'ness, which is the other food bank, and they have make up food parcels for around 25 families and the Bowness Food Pantry, they make up about 40 packs for families. So we decided to work with Storehouse Bowness as well as the food pantry. So I thought it would be good to develop a pre-project evaluation that was sent out to the families first, so that we can see what families struggle with and what barriers they face in terms of cooking for their family. So we would have an idea of how we could support them. Was it recipes they were looking for? Was it cooking equipment? So just to investigate some of the barriers that they face. So I've handed that out to all the families, and we're going to get that back in, and that will help us plan other things or information that could go into the Porridge Pot packs. So we'll look at the different ways we can support the people's needs around food and cooking. And then after the project, I'll do a post-project evaluation, and I'll look at the impact of the campaign. And we'll hopefully, if we get good outcomes, we are going to be looking at rolling the Porridge Pot project out throughout Forth Valley, targeting socially deprived areas and families throughout Forth Valley. And also I'll work with the family centres and the staff within the family centres to roll it out in the prisons to families that are visiting prisoners. We'll hopefully roll it out to them as well. So if anybody is on Twitter, if you follow Murray1 Pamela on Twitter, I often put project updates on there and on Facebook. And if you'd like to read more about the Porridge Pot project, get in touch with me or visit the Just Giving page. If you even just Google Just Giving the Porridge Pot project, that gives you more details of the project. And there will be funds left over once we have bought all the equipment and resources for the Porridge Pot packs. So we will be looking at how the Bowness Food Pantry and Storehouse could use that money if, say, a family needs more cooking equipment like a microwave or a hob or something like that. So the money will all be used within this local community of Bowness. So I hope you found that interesting, but I find it really exciting, and hopefully the project will go well. Thank you. Bye.